Hello. This time, it's Enter the Gungeon. Just like last time, before we start, I do kind of have a preamble. I have close to 100 hours in this game. I'm a bit of a pro when it comes to Enter the Gungeon. Just bullet hells in general, really. It's my most successful genre, I would say. So, just as kind of a warning, if you don't like pro gameplay, I would leave. This just really isn't going to be for you, I think. Just wanted to give that quick warning ahead of time. This game also kind of requires a lot more attention than Peglin does. Peglin is kind of a stationary game, so to speak, but this is real time. I'm not really sure at what level I will be able to rant and play at the same time. I guess we will see. Also, just before we get started, I wanted to try my hand at doing a bit. I haven't really done a bit yet, so I wanted to try that. So, incoming bit in 3, 2, 1. Whoa, what was that? Was that a glimpse of the future, perhaps? That's crazy. I'm sorry, I won't be doing bits anymore. I think we are going to just edit that whole thing out in post. I don't think you'll really be seeing that. That was not very funny. It's actually, as we get started here, it is actually, makes me feel pretty self-conscious doing jokes like this, because you tell a joke and then you're met with complete silence, and you just think to yourself right after you tell the joke, which you thought was funny going into it, you just think, yeah, that's not going to go over well. Thankfully, I can just edit all that out. Edit my unfunniness out. I don't know what I would do if this was live. That would be pretty irreversible. While we go through this first floor, which is kind of the baby floor, it's for babies, I would like to talk about my first topic, which is chickens. You really cannot convince me that chickens are real. I know, like, I've owned a chicken before. I've seen them. But they're not real. Yeah, baby floor, by the way. Little baby floor for babies. Yeah, we're gonna edit that out in post. You won't see that. I can just say, like, I lost it for a handicap or something. Make a note of that. Chickens are a big conspiracy to me because they don't really have any purpose aside from serving human beings. And I know people go on and on about survival of the fittest. They just talk all day and night about survival of the fittest. You hear it everywhere. What does this do? Okay, I remember this. This is a good one. People talk all the time about survival of the fittest. Yeah, explain chickens then. Explain how they got through kind of the rule there. They have so many problems. Let me just kind of list the ways off for you of how many problems chickens have. Number 1, chickens are dumb. They are just so incredibly stupid that they don't know danger when it hits them right in the face. Sometimes they run away from everything, even if it's harmless, and sometimes they will just sit there while something walks up and eats them. I've seen a hawk just come by, swoop up a chicken, and then fly away, and the chicken was none the wiser. It was going about its day, and then it's flying in the air in a hawk's talons. And you could argue that it would be hard to dodge a hawk, but I think if survival of the fittest was in play here, then they would have all been swept away by now. So all of the chickens would be extinct based on that alone. But then you have the additional problem of the fact that chickens kill each other. They're not even safe from each other. If one chicken has a wound, then all the other chickens will peck it to death. And then they'll get infected with whatever that chicken had, if it was like a contagious sore or something. And they'll just kill each other. By the way, I have to not get hit if I want a life upgrade, which should be pretty easy since this is the first boss. There's really no excuse for it, other than that nature is very confused. Chicken lore is kind of like a never-ending treasure trove. You're always discovering new things about how useless they really are. Like just recently, I found out that chickens will eat their own eggs. They will just lay an egg, say, yes, that is my offspring, and I think that looks delicious, and then they will eat it. There are very few animals in the animal kingdom that are stupid enough to continue their race and then willingly destroy their race because they want to go for the all raw egg diet. I will never understand the existence of chickens, and as far as I'm concerned, they single-handedly disprove survival of the fittest as a concept, because they would not exist. And I know you can say that they exist because humans take care of them, and that's how they're survival of the fittest, because... No, you know what? That is counter to my point. Hey, you just made me fall in a hole. Who's arguing with me in my YouTube video? Huh? Who's arguing with me? Yeah, this is my YouTube video. You don't talk back. Chickens aren't real. End of story. Oh, well, I'm still seething, clearly, because I got hit again. I'm just being debuffed by detractors. I don't really think that there's much else to say about... Oh, okay, yep. You know what? That's gonna get edited out. Yep, this whole thing is gonna be edited out in post. Make a note of that. I'm not really sure there's much else to say on the topic of chickens, because, you know, they're kind of just... I mean, I don't think chickens would have a lot to say on the topic of chicken. The next thing that I kind of wanted to go over is dating apps. I kind of want to transition into dating in general, but dating apps especially confuse me. What does this guy do again? I would read this, but I was once told by a friend that I both cannot read or pay attention to the screen, and I think that is true. You really hit the nail on the head with that one. But I do want to make it clear that I am not illiterate, I am unliterate. It is a choice. I choose to not read. It's not that I can't read. It's almost like a political thing. You wouldn't understand. You really wouldn't get it, but just know that it is a choice. So the deal with dating apps is you are talking to a stranger online. And let me make this clear beforehand. It is not that I don't understand why people use dating apps. It's hard to connect with people, especially in recent years, or it feels like that for a lot of people. Not everybody. Yeah, you know what? Just need to not get hit. It's not that hard. They're very slow moving. Just don't get hit, please. So it's not that I don't understand why people use them. I definitely do. It's more so, it's such a, and I think this is people are coming to terms with this more frequently in the modern day, but it is such a ineffective way of finding someone. And I know there are people that do find partners on dating apps, but those tend to be, at least from my understanding, the minority. If you take the concept of talking with a stranger, that may or may not be anything like the characteristics that they are providing to you. They could be exactly like they say, or they could be nothing like they say. There is no inclination of whether what they are saying is true or false. It just feels like that's, from day one, that's not working out so well. Like, that's kind of the core aspect of being in a relationship, is knowing who you're talking to, and that by itself is already not accurate. But then on top of that, you also have people that are purposely trying to cause problems. You have people who are just trying to take advantage of others. You have people who are using it for nefarious purposes. And then if you ever do meet up in person, they could just be a completely different person for all you know. Wait, I bought this thinking that it was a passive, but it's just a gun. That's a little unfortunate, I would say. I understand why this isn't possible, because it would just be way too much effort, and, you know, the dating app companies don't care enough to do this. Maybe if a small-time company did this. If you had a dating app service that had a lot more vetting involved. It could start with a simple questionnaire that has some sneaky questions in there that if you're a creep you would answer thinking that you nailed it, but actually like you've been vetted. Question 1, you've been vetted. But then you could have things like needing a properly registered email address. They could send drones to your home to make sure that your picture is accurate, right? They could just have the drones, like they wouldn't have to tell you or anything, they could just send them in. You wouldn't even, you'd think it's like an Amazon delivery package. It's not going to hurt anybody. You could do a background check on all of them. You have to do like a thumbprint scan. You have to send in your thumbprint result to sign up for the website. Then you can do a background check. That would be an easy step. You could make that a part of the sign-up fee. You know, you sign up for the dating app and do a background check. They could also have a system where if you lie, the other people can report you, and if you get reported enough times, you're arrested. Like they would get law enforcement involved. I think that would work. And I could see some areas where that could be abused, for better or for worse. But I think it would work out well in the end, probably. Also, I need to focus up, because this is the boss. I don't throw that term around loosely, focusing up. It's something that I really only say when it matters. Focusing up just means not talking, by the way. And see, you ruined it. Literally, I felt self-conscious because I wasn't saying anything, and then I died. And now I don't get health because of you. Thanks a lot. Yeah, just got hit twice. You know what? We're editing this. I'm gonna find footage online of this boss being perfected, and then I'm editing out this whole thing in post. Well, I'm glad that I was able to perfect that boss. I think in a recent patch they took out the extra health that you get for for beating the boss without getting hit. I'm not going to mess up saying perfected again, so I'm just going to avoid the word entirely, but it was very effective of me to do that. On a somewhat more serious note, not that the last topic wasn't very serious, I think that transitioning... Hey, I saw that. This guy's a mimic. I knew it. The allegations of me not paying attention to the screen are false, as you can see. I think that dating in general kind of has a weird situation going on. The concept of being in a relationship, or even just more simply going on a date, is to better understand the person that you are going on a date with. At least that's my assumption. You're trying to get to know them. But then, why is it that you do that by going to a place that you don't normally go to in a situation that you wouldn't normally be in, saying things that you don't normally say. That's what I don't get. And people wonder why they always say, oh, they were fine until the third or fourth date or whatever it might be. And then they drop this bombshell and it turns out they were a total monster. Yeah, that's because you went to the cheese factory and rented a limo. Most people are gonna ignore red flags if they're driven to the cheese factory in a limo. I think that dating needs to be a lot simpler in that regard. It just needs to be a little more normal, or what you would do normally. Oh, hold up, before we continue. This is a focus moment. I'm really good at this. Wait, I don't have money, I'm poor. Never mind, we'll come back to that. Why is it always the third date where they drop the bombshell? Like, why is it always the third date? Do they think that the third date is when things are locked in? In their head, they're like, oh, we went out 2 times, we met in person 2 times in real life. Now they'd never leave me now. I know that they're just stupid, but wouldn't you want to wait until there's a little bit more of a commitment? I mean, it's good that they don't. I'm glad that they're stupid about it before dropping bombshells like that. But you would think that they would bide their time a little bit. It just always confused me why it's always the third date. Because no, that's not. That means nothing. But I've always just found that kind of odd about the dating scene. That it's so expected that things will not be the way that they'll normally be for the first several dates. When the whole point of dating is to figure out, it's very ineffective. It's very time inefficient, and I think that dating should be more efficient in the way that we handle relationships. It's really why I've never been interested in the dating scene, because it's very unoptimized, and I would prefer that they optimize it a bit more before I get involved. Okay. This is it. I'm gonna show you just how good I am at this. How many shots do I have? That's easy mode. Okay. Yep. That's... Hold on. Just give it a second. Okay. You know what? Wait, this is just Peglin. No wonder I suck at this. This is just Peglin again. Oh my gosh. Everything just comes back to Peglin, dude. We're gonna edit that whole section out in post, so it won't matter in the long run, but I think that's really all I wanted to say about dating. It's not like I'm one to speak. I have no expertise on the topic whatsoever. It's more so just a curiosity than something that frustrates me. I mean, it doesn't really involve me to begin with. I do have another topic that I wanted to go into as we kind of chug along here at record pace. I don't know if you are familiar with Enter the Gungeon, but I believe we are in fact on potentially world record pacing. Getting hit doesn't, not that I've gotten hit, but getting hit doesn't actually matter for the, yeah, you didn't, we're gonna edit that out. Getting hit doesn't actually matter for the speed run. It's just how fast you go, so we're really on record time here. What is this? Shoot, oh, stout bullets. I thought that said shoot bullets. I was like, what have I been doing this whole time? The next thing that I really wanted to touch upon is the cycle of money. Oh, that was a close one. Almost just ran right off the edge. That would have been pretty embarrassing. I find money to be a strange pursuit. Not in terms of, you know, earning money being a strange pursuit, but more specifically, when you have so much money that you have nothing to spend it on, but you still keep trying to get money. And I know it's an infinite cycle of you make it for whatever reason, you make it your life's goal to earn money. Maybe initially you wanted the money to get something. You wanted to not have to worry about rent or whatever it might be. And then I don't know how many millionaires started out in poor situations, but there could just be as simple as I want money for life security. And then you grow up, you enter business, you make it big, and eventually you run out of things to spend your money on. But then that's been your life goal. So you don't really have a different life goal. So you feel kind of empty that you have all this money but nothing to spend it on. So to fill that gap, you earn more money, but then you're just back at square one because now you have more money and nothing to spend it on. And it's like a cycle. I get that. You know what? I'm going to continue this thought after this because let me tell you, I'm not getting hit on this boss. I'm getting a life upgrade. Not that I got hit on the other boss. This is my best boss. Historically, I don't think I've ever gotten hit on this boss even once across every hour that I played of this game. So this should be easy. I'm focused. I'm not talking. I'm not getting hit. I know that looked like I was about to get hit, but that was all under control. This is... My brain will work again shortly. Just allow it time to rest. That really jostles my jimmies. Never mind. Don't let me say that again. We're editing that out in post for sure. That's not making it through the final cut, let me tell you. Man, I can't believe I just perfected that boss. That is amazing. I guess they took out all life gain past the first boss, but that's okay. We're good enough to where we don't need the upgrades, so it should be fine. Anyway, what I was saying is, I'm very surprised that I'm not saying this is normal, but I'm very surprised out of all of the rich people throughout all of history, that there has not been at least one rich person that has... What did I just get hit by? What happened? Was that my own electricity? Yeah, okay. So now I gotta dodge my own abilities. That's cool. Yeah, thanks, game. Balance patch, please. I'm surprised that throughout all of history there has not been a single rich person that has just said, screw it, I'm donating all my money to charity and I'm gonna go live on a rock. And I know that sounds crazy. Like, I don't think I would do that if I was rich. But with all the rich people throughout history, you're telling me it hasn't happened one time? If your goal of making money is a legacy, let's say, you want to be remembered, being the rich guy who lives on a rock would be pretty up there. The memorability of donating all your money to charity, and then... Okay. And then, dude, this is a crazy... I can't think for even a second. Please, okay. We're good. You almost got me at the end there, but not today. I look at the screen. The memorability of donating all your money to charity and then living on a rock would be crazy. I just feel like we should maybe start a initiative, like Rich Guys on Rocks initiative or something, to try and convince one of the many millionaires out there to get on this. I feel like with all the millionaires out there, if you hired a translator, you would have to get one of them, right? I feel like you would get somebody. And I'm just trying to think, if it were me, how would I try to convince a millionaire to go donate all their money to charity and live on a rock? I think the things that come to mind are, for one, you would have crazy overheads. Yeah, I mean, I think they would be 0 unless you had to rent the rock, I guess. But you could convince them that their overheads would be in the negatives, and I think that would do fairly well. That's pretty business-y. You could kind of style the rock, like paint the rock different colors, maybe polka dots or like an anime character on there. I'd probably have to hire someone to do that because I'm not very good with colors. I feel like that could add a couple points to your argument, especially if you had glitter involved or something. I could also see myself offering to rent out the rock next to them and be their best friend. That could potentially get some points. I don't know. I think with enough time, I think I would get somebody. I don't have the money to hire a translator or anything, but I would do it. You know, as I've kind of digested on everything that I just said over the last 5-10 minutes, I think I will just be editing the whole thing out in post because I don't think any of that had any meaning whatsoever. There was really no point to any of that, I don't think. I don't really know why I said any of that. I mean, here we are, right? So maybe I can find some bits and pieces to use. Maybe I'll like clip them together or something to make a new sentence. I've seen people do that on the internet before. You know what they say, when life gives you lemons. I don't remember the rest of that, but I'm sure it was something. Wait, why are my bullets so big? Is that the stout bullet thing? Or I guess why are my guns so big in this case? That's kind of a awkward. Yep, do you know what? Just go ahead and, hey brain, you know you can do 2 things at once. It's kind of crazy, but it is actually possible for you to dodge bullets and talk at the same time. I've seen other people do it, and you are just slacking off. Or incapable. I'm not really sure which one. I'd like to believe the former, though. I would love it if I was capable of basic tasks. That would be awesome if I could just have that be a thing. Okay, next boss. This one should be kind of a gimme, much like many of the other bosses. Yep, you know, it's fine. There's plenty of footage online. Yeah, this... Hold on. Just don't... We're not going to talk right now, okay? Just let me... Yep, just... Yeah, it wasn't even close. I had to use the restroom in the middle of that one, so my health got kind of low, but it's alright, because, again, they kind of need the handicap, you know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, this is the guy that you drop stuff on, right? Do I drop guns on him? Oh, just used a blank. Imagine if you were just standing there and you were like, I can't figure out how to drop a thing. You're just holding something in your hands and you're too stupid to know how to drop it. You know what? We're given... I don't care. I need my weapons. I don't want to give them up. If I recall correctly, this is the final boss if you're not fighting the super final boss. So this should be the end to the run, because I've beaten the super final boss so many times I don't really feel like I need to do that again. I think I'm fine as is. We're kind of just... This is more of like a proof of concept, if anything. I'm gonna have to stop you right there. Unfortunately, the last little section had to be cut due to time constraints. I definitely did not fall into a hole and die, because like I said, that would be really embarrassing, especially if that was the way that I died. I think it would still be okay, because I was doing the 100% any amount speed run for falling into a pit on the 5th level. Not that it did happen, but if it did, I think I would have hit world record time. We'll see after the post goes through. That's okay. I think that was a good stopping point anyway. Kind of a heroic victory against the wall there. And that kind of shows the message too, right? The message that I wanted to send with this, which is you can do anything that you put your mind to. I know my pro gameplay might have been a little bit intimidating, but I didn't start there. You know, I have close to 100 hours in this game. I really had to work to get my skills in this game. I had to put a lot of effort in to get to where I am today, and I hope that that's inspirational to show that you can really achieve anything that you put your mind to, as long as your brain is capable of basic functioning and can dodge very, very slow-moving projectiles and not fall in holes. I think that's kind of a good message to end off on. So I hope that helps. But I hope you have a good rest of your day. Bye. I mean, as a speedrunner, I know that you can't hurt it. I was just... Yep, you remember when I said that would be embarrassing? Well, that's cool. That came back. It's like a little... It's like a pun or something. Okay, you know what? Yeah, that's... Yeah. Okay. Well... I was actually doing the any percent